All right, guys, this is Sean, Foster SC Mods here, and I'm going to go over today the inlet side install for the Whipple setups for the 15 to 17 Whipple, and also the 18 to 20 Gen 5 setups on the Whipples. So basically what we're looking at here is these pieces here. This is the 15 to 17 inlet types, the elbow. This is the plastic one. Here's the carbon fiber one. And I moved the location to drill and tap into the inlet for the 15 to 17 from the MAF housing like this here. It's the same MAF housing that's used on the 15 all the way up to the 20 Gen 5 setup. But I decided to move the connection to the inlet for the 15 to 17s to the elbow. And as you can see, this one here is installed. This is actually mine on my setup. So the reason I did that was it was a lot easier to take this off than the MAF housing, and it's also easier to drill it and connect it, and it also actually transfers a little bit more whine as it's closer to the throttle body. So what I want to show you is basically how we drill it and how we connect it. These straight hose barb fittings here, and this is the grommet we use. So on all of these, the drilling is with a step drill like this provided in the kit, and they get drilled out to 1 1/4, which is the second to the last step. Not all the way through, not this one here, but the second to the last step. And you can probably see the numbers there. It says 1 1/4, and it's right here. So this one's been drilled, and as you'll see here, it goes right into that second to the last step, not further. You want to be careful when you get to this point that you don't keep going and then kind of ream the outside a little bit too wide. It is about maybe 3/16 inch thick. So this is a thicker material here than, say, the carbon fiber, which is about 1/8 inch, or the MAF housing, hard plastic, which is about 1/8 inch as well. So once you drill through this, excuse me, you might have a little bit of a little bit to clean up inside here, and you can do that just chasing it with the razor blade provided. Make sure you don't gouge out any chunks or anything like that, because then you'll start having problems with sealing with the grommet if you were actually take out a piece of that. So let me show you how we do this here. It's pretty simple. Once you drill that, and you just go ahead and you can put some WD-40 or lube on there, and it helps seat the grommet. And the grommet pretty simply just pushes right in. The lube does help it kind of pop in a little bit better. And go inside and take a look and see how well the grommet is actually seated. Make sure the lip face is all the way over the edge. Now you can use WD-40 here as well to install the hose barb. This straight 90 hose barb has a lip, as you can see on this edge here. This keeps it from coming through, and this barb here on this side here will keep it from, you can see it installed there, it'll keep it from backing back through here. So this elbow here, actually, this is the part that goes to the throttle body. This is the part that goes to the MAF housing. And as you can see, there's a seam here. The hole is drilled. It does state in the instructions how to do it, but the hole is drilled just so it's slightly above this seam line right here. And as you can see with the grommet installed, the grommet just barely touches it at the bottom, or comes close to it. And this ensures that there's a when this is installed, the sound tube itself, when it's installed in the hose barb here, it'll actually clear the valve cover, things like that. So very simply, grommet installed, a little bit of more grease on this hose bar. I mean the grommet itself, and then you just reach inside and push it through. It's a very tight fit, but watch this. Nice. So once that's done, what you're going to want to do at this point is actually install the sound tube, because once this gets installed, you're going to try to push the sound tube on. This is going to back and push back in, and you won't be able to get the edges of the sound tube to come over and seal tightly against the grommet and get over on this the barb edge here, which actually keeps it nice and snug. So you're going to hold it with your hand on the inside here like this, and then you just simply work it on, and now it's over the edge. So as you can see, it's completely flush. And the hose barb, the inside of the hose barb is flush against the grommet in there. It's not sticking out, and it's nice and tight. So this is sandwiched together, and it's not going to come apart. And when this sets up, the lube actually sets up, it binds and it will not come apart. But I still like to use the provided zip tie right on the edge here like this, and I zip tie it down. That just helps ensure that the barbed edge grabs, and this is not going to move. It'll add a surety that things are not going to move around. And you'll see mine was installed with lube, and at first it was slippery and it would move back and forth in and out. But now, since it's set up and dried, and I've been running it for a while, this will not even push in. I mean, it's that tight. I could install a piece of sound tube itself on there without even holding the inside, because it's just set up so well. You see that. But when you first install it and the lube is kind of still slippery, it will push in, and you can see here it stays nice and tight, and it's flush on the inside. You can see it, and it's flush on the outside. Nothing moved. So that's basically how that's installed. And like I said, I like to have this installed before the sound tube installed on the grommet, before you go ahead and try to put this back on, because obviously, like I said, you want to be able to hold it in the back here with your hand and force the sound tube on and get it to set up. So that's basically it on this portion on the elbows. Now,